Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at this little guy right here, Exposed, from Overworld Games. And it is a neat little deduction type game where you are simply trying to either get the most wallets, 7 being the goal, or be the last person to be exposed in the game. So let's get down to the table and I'll show you how it works. So here I have a 4-player game of Exposed set up for you. You would have a 5x5 grid of all of the different characters or identities that are in the game. You would also have 3 marks that are set out from the deck. Each player is given a character to begin the game with, and then targets are placed on the actual marks that are listed up here. So the mayor, the janitor, and the astronaut all have a target symbol on them. The goal of the game is to either acquire 7 wallets or be the last exposed player in the game. So if you accomplish one of those 2 different goals, you win. How you play the game, though, is on the other side of this card, where you have 4 actions to choose from. And on your turn, you can only choose one of them. So you can move, which is basically swapping the locations of 2 tiles. So I could swap the veterinarian and the architect, and then I do it a second time. So I could also swap the accountant and the nanny if I wanted to. Next, the other option that you have, rather, is to steal. You can steal a wallet from any guest that surrounds your identity or guest. So again, you have a little grid here that shows you what it is. So if I am the senator, I can steal from any of these 8 surrounding guests that are adjacent to my location. The third option that I have available to me is to expose, and that is simply choosing a guest in my row or column and flip it over to its exposed side. So again, if I am the senator, I can flip the farmer, the dentist, the nanny, the pilot, magician, nurse, janitor, or actor, and expose them. The fourth option that I have available to me is that if I am unexposed, I can reveal my identity card to one other player and flip any guest to its opposing side. So if I am the paramedic down here and I want to flip the server, I wouldn't normally be able to do that because I am in this row and this column and the server is way over here. But if I want to snitch on someone, I can take my identity card, show it to somebody else, and then flip, expose the server. Okay, so just to give a brief, basic explanation on how each of these things would work, I'm going to play open as the pilot. So everybody, you will know that I am the pilot. All right, so if I choose to move on my turn, I can swap 2 people. So I can swap, for example, the nanny and the pilot. It does not have to be your own character. You can swap any 2 people that you want. And then for my second time doing that, I'm going to swap the pilot and the senator like so. Next, the steal action would simply be taking a wallet from an adjacent player. Now, and then when you do that, you take it and you put it into your stash. This is the lost and found area right here. It's kind of the cache of wallets that are here, no pun intended. But this is called your stash, where this is the loot, so to speak, that you are getting. Now, since I stole from a person who is the target, that actually exposes that person, and we turn it over like so. In doing that, I get to automatically use the special ability that that person has on it. But since there aren't any exposed people out here that have wallets on them, that's the first person that's been exposed, then that doesn't actually do me any good. There are some that will say at the beginning of your turn, and they're kind of like ongoing effects, but this one doesn't say that, so you have to just simply put it into the discard pile. And then this is removed. Another person is flipped over to become the next target. That is the physicist. Where is he on the board? Physicist. Come on, you guys, help me out. You can't. So this is really There he is. So there you have it. When you have 4 pairs of eyes instead of just 1, that goes a lot faster. So that is stealing. Next, you can expose. All right. So remember, I'm the pilot. So when I expose, I can go in my column or my row. Anybody in that area. So let's say that I'm going to choose the senator. I'm going to expose the senator. That sounds interesting. And so we put that just like that. And player 4 over here says, dadgummit, that's me. Let's say that they had 4 wallets already. What has to happen here is they take all of their wallets from their stash, put it onto their guest tile, and then they have to lose half of them rounded down. So I have 5, I would have to lose 2 because I would normally have to lose 2.5, but I round down, so I take 2 wallets off of my thing. Now everybody knows who I am and they know how many wallets I have. So it's a difficult thing to be exposed in this situation. Additionally though, when you expose somebody, you take 2 wallets from the lost and found and add it to your stash. If you are already exposed, you would take those 2 and add it to your guest tile instead. Now the snitch ability is very similar to that, except you're just simply not restricted to your row or column, but you do have to reveal who you are to one other player. And then, for example, I'm the pilot here. I could then say, I'm going to flip over the engineer and expose them. If I was correct, the same thing would happen as in the expose action to the person I was exposing. But other than that, nothing else would happen. And that's generally how you play Exposed. It is a very quick, very simple game. So let's get to my final thoughts. So Exposed is a really fast, neat little game that plays very quickly, even with its maximum player count. I think it's a very simple game to teach. The things that you do on your turn are move, steal, expose, or snitch. Those are the 4 actions that you have available to you, and they don't change at all. So that's really neat, and it's very easy to teach. The player aids that come in the game, these things are invaluable because the game is so simple. All the information you need to teach you how to play the game is right here. Then all you really have to do is field questions on nuances that people might think about that could or could not be part of the game. Now, how well you do at the game is largely dependent upon you, because it's how you can or cannot deduce the movements of other people, the actions of other people. You do have a lot of information available to you because you have 3 identities that are targets, and you know that those 3 are not one of the players of the game. On top of that, people are doing actions that are restrictive to where they are. So there's a lot of information that you can grab onto, but it is kind of the more people or characters that are exposed on the grid, the more narrowed down the choices are for which characters are the players. So my final thoughts on this is that this is a party level type of game, although I'm not so sure that I would call this a party game. I guess I would, but it just doesn't hold as many players as I usually want a party game to hold. It only holds maximum 6 players, and I would like my party games to be able to hold more than that, maybe 8 or more. So with that being said, the level of complexity that's there is definitely party level, but you might find it lacking on how many players it can support in that role. I would definitely say that it is a gateway level game because it is not difficult to teach. The concepts that are being employed within the game are not difficult at all. Not that all gateway games should be like that, but I think this would definitely fill that role if you have a group of new players or people who are not normally part of the board game hobby in your group. I think that would work well. This game would work well in that situation. So I'm going to give this 1.5 thumbs up, and the reason is because you guys know me. I'm not really that much of a party game kind of person, but this is the level of party game that I actually do enjoy. Again, I don't think that this is perfect for my desire of a party game, but I think it would definitely work well in that situation. And I think that the concepts used are simple, but yet they are also engaging. And that's what I'm really looking forward to from a gateway party-ish level game. I don't want games that try to make you be goofy and act out of character and all this other kind of stuff. Your normal character. I don't mind role-playing and all that kind of stuff and hamming it up that way. But I don't like games that just make you do stupid stuff for the sake of doing stupid stuff. And this is definitely not one of those games. So that's it from me. We'll see you guys on the flip side.